despite my best intentions to not appear like a egotistical sycophant, somehow I've managed to make my way into vampire society, which apparently is called the Camarilla.
That's right.
Thanks to the intervening of a very attractive, confident, red-headed woman called Sophie.
Would you like to know more about the Camarilla?
Sounds like a website.
Would you like to know more about the Camarilla?
I can help you with that.
I can help you with that. I see you're having a bit of trouble adjusting to your unlife.
Vampire life.
So let's have a look at our dictionary.
I would like some assistance, yes, please.
So the Camarilla.
A major sect of vampires devoted primarily to maintaining the masquerade through influence and manipulation of mortal society.
And we haven't been talking about it during our playthrough because we've been doing the voices and not interrupting each other regarding that, but the artwork is lovely.
It is.
Not just because we're in a gallery. Not Batch's artwork, but the artwork of the characters.
The characters are very, very cool looking. It's kind of like a lot of blurry kind of lines. It's almost like impressionistic, where it's like the smudges of a face. Do you know what I mean?
It's got that kind of Renaissance-y, watercolory, but also new, techy.
It's delicate, yet kind of blurry at the same time.
You can tell I have a master's in performing arts, not visual arts.
Visual arts. I actually did study visual arts, but I am no better at it.
Well, welcome to Camarilla.
Now, this evening proved to be even more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude.
You want to learn
That's
what
a new word. Let's have a look.
Just say at me. Dictionary.
Dictionary!
Maybe a little more gothically horror-y.
Dictionary! Get your dictionary here.
There we go.
Okay. Fledgling, oh my god. Fledgling, a newly created vampire still under their sire's protection. That would be me. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties?
Of course, my prince.
Let's look at the dictionary. Prince, a vampire who has claimed a given expanse
of
domain as their own, generally a city, and supports that claim against all others. The term can refer to a kindred of either sex. That's cool. I like that. He shoots me a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. I will be watched. I will be judged. And if need be, I will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Ellen, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new, fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges who have now reappeared in the showroom to refill the guests' glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. The memory of throwing up in the safe house is still fresh in my mind, but the idea that it could happen again is almost enough to reject the drink altogether. But there's no denying I want it. Need it. I remember what Kadir said about your misadventure before getting in the car. Some of us have more delicate palates than others. Try to take a small sip, s'il vous plaît. He pours it into 2 tall glasses. I can barely wait until he hands me the drink. My attention is fully on it. The fact that it's blood, I'm certain of it, doesn't faze me this time. It's difficult to take just a sip. Even though the taste is as foul as before, I'm tempted to down the whole glass in one go. I wait before taking a second taste. I'm glad I did. A feeling like heartburn signals that I can't keep it down. I spit it back inside the glass. Sophie looks on, intrigued. I'm not surprised. NYC caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Well, you just need to keep trying. At Sophie's request, the concierge serves me 3 other variants of blood. The first 2 are as horrible and indigestible as before, both ending up back in the glass within moments of tasting them. Before the 3rd try, I'm almost ready to throw the glass at the wall in frustration. But finally, this one's different. Instead of mud and decay, a surprisingly rich bouquet of tastes. I feel blissfully at ease. And Sophie takes notice. Ah, there it is. Jacob, would you kindly let us know who the donor was? Leave the bottle, please. The concierge nods and leaves again. I take another sip and another. I empty the glass. The dull feeling in my stomach and head starts subsiding, but I still want more. Sophie pours me another glass and refills hers. She takes a sip. You have a curiously specific taste, Ellen. Is it the clover notes, the traces of caffeine, or that bittersweet aftertaste of melancholy? I taste nothing of the kind, but it doesn't matter. It's tasty, but not as delicious as it was last night, not as intoxicating. It manages to silence the hunger somewhat, though. Dictionary. The hunger, the urge to feed. For vampires, the hunger replaces all other drives with its own powerful call. Drinking blood puts me at ease. It is a strange realization. The man named Jacob comes back with a small card and leaves it with Sophie. She takes a quick look and passes it on to me. It's somebody's medical details. An office worker. Male, Caucasian, 32 years old. Blood type ABRH plus? Positive? I don't know that one.
I don't know what the RH.
It would just be AB positive, right?
Unless there's a more specific
Maybe.
blood type.
Blue eyes, brown hair, no history of substance abuse, New Jersey native. Might one of these details be what makes the difference?
Any thoughts so far?
Probably because he's an office worker. Like he's a bit, I don't know, higher socioeconomic status.
Mm-hmm. And the one you tasted before?
God, I don't know. Could have been anyone.
No, the one that
Oh, the waiter.
The waiter. Because that was another one that you enjoyed. And that was the better one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sadly, you do kind of need a college degree to become a waiter. Possibly? I don't know.
Who knows?
It's cheating a little bit because I know a little bit about, the world of darkness.
Well, yes, we both know that Ventru have refined palates, but as far as your character is concerned...
Could be.
Yeah.
Something else.
It's just a thing.
Now that we have picked the right bouquet for your palate, these documents should be useful in identifying your exact taste, should they be ORH plus or Joyzy boys. But I believe you have more questions, no? Perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. Where do you get blood? It's kind of weird that you have waiters serving blood. Where do you get it from? That can be a bit of a touchy topic. Let's just say that most of the blood available at events like this is crowdfunded. Did I get that right? It's hard to keep track of a modern language. At any rate, what I mean is that there is a plethora of vessels on tap. As for where to get blood when you're not in Elysium, tomorrow I shall take you hunting and we will explore this topic further. Let's have a look at vessels, shall we? Vessel, a source of blood for sustenance or pleasure, primarily mortal. Primarily? Interesting. So it could not be mortal.
That's correct.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. What you need to know right now is that no matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more, unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop. But even that doesn't last. Best start by just taking a simple sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood is more satiating than most anything that can be served in a fancy glass, but it can make you more voracious. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky, and it will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Dictionary. The beast. Oh my god. The inchoate? I didn't even know what that word means.
Incolate? I'll look it up while you keep reading.
Can we get a dictionary for the dictionary, please?
I feel like, what's her name from,
what?
The Good Place.
Oh, Janet.
Janet.
The inchoate drives and urges that threaten to turn a vampire into a mindless, ravening monster. It must be something like,
Just beginning and so not fully formed or developed. Rudimentary.
Oh, okay.
You can have a look at pronunciation because you can read in phonetics and I can't. I was never very good at writing or reading phonetics.
No, I can't. Never mind.
Inchoate.
Let's just move on.
Okay, moving on.
I've completely
We've
forgotten how to read
embarrassed ourselves
phonetics.
well enough.
What do you mean by hunting? Did you say hunting as in rifles, hounds, and funny hats hunting? Nothing of the sort, don't be silly. We are predators, but we are civilized. And most importantly, there is the masquerade to consider. I will get back to that. The masquerade, the habit or tradition of hiding the existence of vampires from humanity. Designed to protect vampires from destruction at the hands of mankind, the masquerade was adopted after the medieval Inquisition claimed many kindred unlives. A hunt may take many forms. There are those of us who seduce kine up to and including the motions of intercourse if you feel like it. Others prefer to feed under the guise of a mugging or assault. Kine. A term for mortals, largely contemptuous. The phrase kindred and kine refers to the world at large. Everything. Some have herds of retainers for the purpose of feeding. Drinking from sleepers in their homes is not uncommon. Blood banks are an option to the few that can tolerate it, though they are frowned upon. Retainer. A human who serves a vampiric master. Kindred rarely go without at least a few of these mortals, both for convenience and protection. Makes sense? You will need to identify these opportunities and decide for yourself whether you want to pursue them. But make no mistake, you will have to hunt to survive. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leans in to whisper in her ear, I note that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. The smile she puts on could tip any negotiation towards her favor. Her words are like honey, and she makes it impossible to take my eyes off her. I'm under her spell. Momentarily. Sophie leads me to a luxurious silver Rolls-Royce and invites me to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the masquerade. Traditions? The 6 traditions form the core framework for governance amongst the kindred. The first tradition, the masquerade. Thou shalt not reveal thy true nature. The second tradition, the domain. Thy domain is thine own concern. All others owe thee respect while in it. The third tradition, the progeny. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. The fourth tradition, the accounting. Those thou create are thine own children. Their sins are thine to endure. The fifth tradition, hospitality. Honor one other's domain. Without the word of acceptance, thou art nothing. The sixth tradition, destruction. Thou art forbidden to destroy another of thy kind. The right of destruction belongeth only to thine elder. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts, so to the vast majority of kind, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? I shake my head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a bit more dejected than before. Angel is a good show. What can I say?
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good. Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our own interactions with mortals. Is your driver a vampire too? So if it's such a secret, then I'm guessing your driver is a vampire too? Oh, dear Gregory here? No, not a vampire, although he is a loyal servant and as such trusted to not spill our secrets left and right. You will realize with time that such help is welcome. Gregory watches over me during the day hours. Sun burns our kind, that's why we take our rest when it rises. It's more akin to being dead than asleep, as I'm sure you've already experienced. But not everything you've heard about vampires is true. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they paralyze us. Well, that's just another reason to have somebody like trusty old Gregory making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. Do vampires watch each other's backs? You mentioned enemies. I guess that makes it necessary to watch each other's backs. Can you count on other vampires for that? She surprises me by letting out a soft chuckle before answering. No. Our little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage counting on someone. Support given in exchange for favors, yes, that's more like it. Sect, a group of vampires arguably united under a common philosophy. The two most widely known sects currently populating the night are the Camarilla and the Anarch movement. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect.
In reverse order. Says a player who's played princes as a Ventru.
Let's check out Sire. A vampire's begetter, the kindred who created them. Your vampire daddy.
Yeah.
When you're in Elysium, like we were tonight, the sect can appear to be a monolith. The reality is more complex. Outside of official gatherings, shady deals and a quid pro quo mentality reign supreme. Elysium, a place where vampires may gather without fear of harm. Court functions in Elysium are strictly kept apart from mortals and surrounded by secrecy, but the Elysium building itself could be a public museum, a gallery, or a club. Berghain is an anarch Elysium. The Louvre is a Oh my god, I'm such a pretentious dick.
No, it's great.
The Louvre is a Camarilla Elysium. I just can't help myself. I want to do the French accent. Le Louvre. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving me to ponder all the things I've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever I wouldn't believe on my own, I've witnessed. Many questions swarm my thoughts, but the one I keep returning to is what my place in this new reality should be. The car stops. I'm in the city, in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building.
I think this art
It's rad.
is beautiful. This one in particular.
That's always like my favorite thing about visual novels as well, is just like the settings and the, you know, the background.
Yeah.
We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment? Neat. I get my own apartment? That's neat. Consider it the first of many gifts that I'm able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Come upstairs. She leads me through a small hall with a night guard who greets Ms. Langley with a good evening, and we take to the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some I wouldn't have deemed necessary, just like the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable-looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy-looking locks, but no windows. Well, how do you like it? This is great, thank you. I should be gracious. She's stuck her neck out for me. This is great. Thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors, just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. I inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Kadir could be a more thoughtful host than my new sire, even if only in that respect. I briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. Sheriff? The sheriff ensures... Oh my god. The sheriff ensures that the traditions and the decrees of the prince are obeyed, hunts down violators, and delivers just punishment. In the case of minor violations, or known enemies of the Camarilla, the sheriff is usually authorized to act as both judge and jailer/executioner. But when it comes to greater offenses, they will deliver the accused to the court to be judged. Like he did me. With nothing left to do, I lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns. Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again.
What a surprise.
Less said about that, the better. You know, the President of the United States got himself out of trouble again. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. I start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before I finally understand what happened to me and what I'm supposed to do now? I keep coming back to the life I left behind. The people I should contact, the things I want to pick up from my apartment. I wonder if or when I'll have the chance for either. As I start to feel the same tiredness that made me drift into a cold sleep last night, I settle in the back room. The bed is comforting, the lack of windows less so. I leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, I realize it's the closest I'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms me. A few minutes later, my consciousness fades and I take the plunge into darkness again, sinking, 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 sinking. Ooh. This is our map, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I assume that vampires would also, sure, some of it's insignificant, but surely vampires would want to take more of an interest in the world's events, right? Because, like, they're gonna be around for longer. You know what? And, like, not copyright pending, but I will hunt every single one of yous that tries to steal this idea. But I always, like, had an idea of, like, some sort of medium about, like, vampires who are, like, hardcore environmentalists and, like, are trying to save the world, essentially. Because they're like, hey, we're gonna live in it, you jerks! Stop messing it up!
In the world of darkness, there aren't vampires who play that, although gangrel tend to have more leanings towards environmentalism. But werewolves go hard. And there's a new werewolf game coming out where you play
cool.
as an environmentalist.
Oh, that's
effectively.
dope. Damn it. Well,
We could play that.
I'll write
when
the
it
movie.
comes out. Okay.
Damn it. I'm stealing their idea.
There you go. Let's rest.
Yes. Oh, I didn't realize we had to press rest.
No, that's all right.
Whoopsie
I was
doo.
using that time to chat.
Yes. Tutorial.
Hunger is at the heart of a vampire's existence. To ignore it is to tempt the beast to take over in its desire to feed. To overindulge in feeding may threaten the masquerade, while staining what humanity you have left.
Cool.
So those things lay in tension with each other. You need to feed,
Yes, but not too much.
but not too much. And if you feed too much, you break the masquerade. But also if you feed, you break the masquerade.
Yes.
Not feeding instantly breaks the masquerade, but feeding too much or
Yeah.
not enough. So it's threading that line.
Mm.
In Coteries of New York, having high hunger is indicated by the progressively thicker bloody frame around the screen, like the one you see now.
Yeah.
As your hunger grows, so does this indicator. Your hunger may increase when you call upon your vampiric powers or when you need to mend your wounds after a fight. When your hunger reaches the maximum level, you will receive a warning after you complete a piece of the story. Ignore it at your own peril.
Cool.
Some choices might only become visible if your hunger is high enough. Similarly, high hunger may block off some choices, as you will be able to see after pressing continue.
Cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. To decrease your hunger, you will need to feed. Whenever you see a feeding opportunity, you can take the risk to hunt and slake your hunger.
Are you alright? You just
Yeah,
had
sate.
a, you had a blip.
My brain went to sate and
Yeah,
looked at
yeah,
that
yeah.
word and went slake. Feeding
Feeding
opportunity,
opportunity.
blocked off option.
Cool. So I can take that option when it appears.
And then the blood goes away.
Yay.
You will need to keep the hunger at bay if you are to uphold the masquerade and survive the nights that await you.
Makes sense. I open my eyes.
And we will do so in the next episode.
Oh, gee golly. That time already.
That time already.
Ugh. Well, I mean, I guess we have learnt a whole bunch. And we'll be ready to use that information in the next episode.
Mm-hmm. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Don't let the vampires bite.
Or do.
Just a bit.
Little nibble.
Just a little.
We're gonna cut
Okay,
this.
bye.